What's up, my honey bunnies? Welcome back to a new video. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. The other day I was washing my brushes and I realized that I'm always washing the same ones over and over, which can only mean that those are my favorite because I'm always picking those up. So for this video, I wanted to share with you guys what brushes those are. If you want me to share my favorite pricier makeup brushes, let me know down below and I can definitely do another video for that. But today is just gonna be my favorite affordable vegan makeup brushes. I am vegan, I'm a vegan YouTuber, so everything I use is vegan. That's including my makeup brushes. I have some eye brushes here and some face brushes. I'm gonna start with eye brushes, and I do have them in this marble container that I found at Marshall's, oh actually Ross, for $5. So if you guys are looking for something to hold your brushes, check out Marshall's, Ross, and even thrifting. I've seen little things like this at the thrift store. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. The eye brushes that I have here are from e.l.f., Real Techniques, and Equal Tools, and I only have a handful. Well, maybe more than a handful. I have 4 from e.l.f., so let's start with those. The first one that I want to mention is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. I think this one I've used for years. I do have 2 of these. Whenever I find a brush that I really like, because I'm so lazy to wash my brushes very often, I do like to buy at least 2 to 3 of the same one. Even though this is a concealer brush, I do like to use this one more for eyeshadow. I did try it for concealer and it just did not work out for me. I do like it for loose powder concealer because I feel like it really does buff out the concealer really nicely. But for cream concealer, I just don't like it. It's very streaky and I just don't like it at all. But for eyeshadow, I love it. So this is what I use it for. Because it's pretty big, I do like to use this for eyeshadow all over the lid, to set my eye primer, or to just lay down a base. And when I'm lazy and I don't want to change brushes, I just use this one for a whole complete eye look. I think it's also the perfect size to like fit right here. So I do use this for transition shades when I'm lazy, also for the outer V type of colors. I just really like this one. I think it's a really good multi-use type of brush. Moving on to a fluffy brush from e.l.f. This one is called the Fluffy Eye Blender. This is hands down my favorite blending fluffy brush. Only $3, and I just got this last month, but I already love it so much that I already picked up another one. It's very straightforward. It's a fluffy blender brush, so you use it to blend out your eyeshadow for transition shades, for crease, outer V. It's a very soft brush and it's also kind of tapered at the top, and it just works really good. I really like it. More detailed fluffy brush. This one is from e.l.f. It's called the Tapered Blending Brush. This is one of their new releases and I already love it so much. I also got this last month, and this is more of a tapered, more smaller dual fiber blending brush. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to see it from here, but I'll give you guys a close-up, like a cutaway, so you guys can see it up close. This one has a triangle shape at the barrel and it kind of follows it all the way up. This one I only like to use it for the crease and outer V because I think it does a really good job in applying and also blending out the color. So I really love it. Really good brush if you're looking for a small detailed blender type of brush. My 4th eye brush from e.l.f. is the Eyebrow Dual Brush. This one has an angled brush on one side and the other side is a spoolie. Perfect for a brow brush. It's a really nice thin one, so I really do like it. Another straightforward type of brush. I can use this on the brows. I can use this for wing liner. And what I really like is that the spoolie is not that rough. I've tried other spoolies where it's really rough on my skin. This is not the softest one, but the other one I have of this type of brush is a little more expensive, so I wanted to only show you guys this one. Next up, I do have 2 Real Techniques brushes. These are also eyeshadow brushes. It's called the Essentials Crease Brush, and it's pretty much a small blending brush as well, but this one is a little more, compared to the one from e.l.f., this one is a little more rounded. And the one from e.l.f. is a little more tapered and a little more, they essentially both do the same thing, except one is a little more tapered and the other one's a little more fluffy. So I use this for the crease, the outer V. The other one from Real Techniques is called the Base Shadow Brush. This one, along with the concealer brush from e.l.f., are the brushes that I pick up when I'm really lazy and I don't want to be exchanging and, you know, using so many eye brushes. So this one I also use as a multi-purpose type of brush. I can use this to apply eyeshadow all over the lid. lid, on the crease, on the outer V. I can pat some eyeshadow on the lid. And I also like to use this with loose pigments. I don't know why, whenever I'm gonna use loose eyeshadow, I pick this one up. I don't know if it's because it works the best. These are two smudge brushes from Eco Tools, and one of them is smaller than the other, and as you guys can see, but the little the tiny one I do like to use for very small detailed work. For example, the inner corner highlight, when I only want like just a tiny bit. When I used to highlight the brow bone, I used to use this one. I use it on the lower lash line, and of course I do use it to smudge out any eyeliner, or whenever I want like a smoked out eyeliner, I use this one. The bigger smudge brush from Eco Tools, I also like to use it for the inner corner highlight. When I feel like I want to highlight the brow bone, I use that as well on the lower lash line. Because this one is bigger, I do like to use this on the crease just to lay down some product, not to necessarily blend it, because I don't feel like this is a good blending brush. Last but not least, in the eye brush section, I do have this one from Kala. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it is the Crease 415 brush, and I did find this at Marshall's a long time ago, and it was really affordable. It was like $3 I think, or $4. It's pretty much a fluffy brush, so you can use this on the crease because that is what it's meant for. What I really like to use this for is whenever I have a very pigmented eyeshadow. This one picks up the tiniest amount and it blends it out really, really nicely, and I can build that color really nicely with this brush. So I really enjoy this one for that reason, and I only use it when I'm gonna use a highly pigmented eyeshadow because it just does a really good job. Let's move on to some face brushes. Let's start with the foundation brushes that I have here. I have three. This one used to be a cult favorite. I don't know if it's still a favorite for many people, but I still use it. I don't really like the shape of it. I don't like that it's like really big at the bottom. Anyways, this is the Expert Face Brush from Real Techniques. One of my first vegan makeup brushes that I found, and I still use it. It is quite dense and also quite small. This one I use for foundation. I think it does an amazing job to blend out my foundation. I use this for contour when I'm doing like cream contour. I use this for highlight when I'm using cream highlights, but I mostly use it for foundation. I just wish they would make a different one where the bottom is thinner. You know what I mean? My next one is also very dirty because I haven't washed it, but this one is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. And no, it's not your eyes deceiving you. It is actually crooked. It goes like this because it came off. Let's just say that sometimes you get what you pay when it comes to affordable brushes, but the bristles work so good. So all I'm gonna do is just glue it. It's not a big deal. This one I do like to use for foundation. It is a really nice, soft brush, and it's a little bigger than the one from Real Techniques, as you can see, so it covers more area. For foundation with cream or powder, it doesn't really matter. It works really good. I like to use this for blush whenever I use blush, which is hardly ever. My last foundation brush is actually a newer one. This one I found, actually no, I didn't find it. It was sent to me from Eco Tools. They sent a little package and it came with a kit of a whole bunch of brushes, and this is the one that I've been really enjoying. It's the Skin Perfecting brush, and I don't know if you guys can see that it is kind of slanted. Another brush that I can use for many different things. I love it for foundation. I love it for contour, whether I'm using a bronzer, you know, like a powder bronzer, a cream bronzer. It's really good for that. Sometimes I pinch it a little more and I do a little bit of bronzer on the side of my nose. My next two brushes are both from Eco Tools. One is their fan brush, and this one is the round powder brush. This one I use for bronzer. I like that it only picks up a tiny bit of product and I can build on top of that. I have in the past used it for setting the face. Like I'll pick up a little bit of setting powder, just a tiny bit, and just kind of like, you know, pat it on my face, and it works for that too. The deluxe fan brush is their older one. Now it looks like this, I think. I feel like this one's a little more different because I still find myself picking up this one more than this one. But this one I've had for so many years, and I really love that it's so big and fluffy. I just love it for highlight. That's pretty much all I use it for. I know some other people use it for contour, and I just don't really contour that much, so I don't really use that for that. But For highlights, I think it works amazing. The way I like to use it is like on its side, like this, and kind of just like rub it like this, and not necessarily like with the edge, if that makes any sense. But that is a deluxe fan brush. Like I said, they do have a newer one that looks like this, but I feel like this one is a little different. They look identical, but trust me, they work a little different. So that's why I still love this one. I have another brush from e.l.f. This one is the Flawless Face brush. I am like getting tongue-tied. But anyways, this one I like to use for setting powder. Like for example, I feel like I look a little shiny right now. I'll just pick up a little bit of setting powder. And all I do is just apply it onto my problem areas where I get, you know, more oily. The other way I like to use this is for pressed powder foundations. In the past, I have tried some other ones that look exactly like this one. Other ones that are even more expensive, and honestly this one is the softest one, because a lot of these type of brushes, when you start patting onto the skin, the bristles can kind of just poke you. Because this one is so soft, it doesn't do that to me, and I really love that for that. So I like to use this for pressed powder and setting powder as well. Those were all of my favorite affordable vegan makeup brushes. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and before you leave, let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite brand of makeup brushes, or your go-to makeup brushes that you cannot put down. I would really love to know. Maybe I can pick up some of your favorites and I can add to my collection. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.